Marshall H. Alworth was born on October 26, 1846, in Florence, Oneida County, New York. After a brief education there, he left home around 13 years old to find his own path. He eventually landed in the Great Lakes area, where he began a career as a land and timber explorer. In 1867, Marshall H. Alworth was contracted to explore the timberlands of Mississippi, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. In 1873, he first came to Minnesota while exploring the Great Lakes area, locating government lands. In 1882, Marshall H. returned to northern Minnesota to purchase large tracts of land at a government sale. Through investigations conducted directly by Marshall H. and his associates, large deposits of ore were discovered. After several successful years of mining, Marshall H. leased his lands to other companies for continued processing. The mineral rights income from these mining operations on the Iron Range contributed to the family's wealth. In addition to being very involved in the timber and mining industry, Marshall H. Alworth owned a considerable amount of real estate in Duluth and was an investor in several local manufacturing industries. Wanting to share in his financial success, he also became a generous supporter of charitable enterprises. Marshall H. Alworth was modest and a devoted family man. He married Nellie Levine in 1878. Of the 7 children they had together, unfortunately only 2 reached adulthood. 2 sons, named Marshall W. Alworth and Royal D. Alworth. Marshall H. died in 1931, and Nellie passed away in 1947. Their estate, worth nearly $6.8 million, was divided between their 2 sons. Marshall W. Alworth was born in Saginaw, Michigan in 1882. Shortly after his birth, his family moved to Duluth, where he continued to live until 1966. He was a graduate of Duluth Central High School and attended Amherst College. He was associated with his father and brother in the family's real estate and mining interests. Marshall W. Alworth and his wife Margaret had no children. To honor the passing of his parents, Marshall W. Alworth created the Marshall H. and Nellie Alworth Scholarship Fund in 1949. Known for his love of science, Marshall W. created this scholarship to help students pursuing math and science-related careers. He anticipated that this country would need more and more scientific knowledge to compete in the years ahead. R.W. Darland, former UMD Provost Emeritus and close personal friend of Marshall W., said of his friend, "He told me many times that in his opinion, students showing promise in sciences and medicine have the best opportunity to improve the welfare of mankind." Marshall W. Alworth lived to be 97 years old and died in 1980. He left his entire estate to the Marshall H. and Nellie Alworth Memorial Fund Scholarship Program to continue supporting college educations for students interested in pursuing degrees in math and science. Since 1949, the Alworth Scholarship has been making academic dreams a reality for dedicated students in northeastern Minnesota. Without Marshall W. Alworth's vision and generosity, a majority of these students would not have had the opportunity to attend college.
I am so grateful for the opportunity that the Alworth Scholarship has given me. I have friends and peers at college that struggle to balance supporting themselves with paid employment while attending college full-time. After watching them, I realize how blessed I am to have been chosen for the Alworth. I am extremely grateful that I was able to devote all of my time to studies and homework instead of worrying about my financial situation. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
My family has never been in an ideal financial situation, and so I was unsure of how I was going to pay for college. When I received the news that I was selected for the scholarship, my mother jumped for joy and was probably the happiest I'd ever seen her. The scholarship will help me immensely in paying for college and making my dreams possible. Thank you so much for that opportunity.
Although Marshall W. and Margaret Alworth never had children of their own, they created a family of Alworth scholars and an educational legacy that will continue into perpetuity.